set. Yeah, buddy. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Things you say been making them feel afraid that you're gonna let them down. But if they knew what you were capable of, yeah, I know they want you around. Ooh, you gotta give it a little bit of confidence. You gotta give it a reason to believe. You gotta give it a little bit of confidence. You gotta give it, 'cause that's what they need. Well, I appreciate your modesty. It's a positive, I know it's true. But when your modesty is talking negatively, everybody feels negative too. Ooh, you gotta give it a little bit of confidence. You gotta give it a reason to believe. You gotta give it a little bit of confidence. You gotta give it, 'cause that's what they need.
For a while there, the things were coming every half hour, so half hour.
Ain't nobody want you preaching to you.
This is Sean Marnane. I live in Santa Barbara. That's where I met Jay. We met through mutual friends who were drawn together by an interest in live music and everything else that goes along with that, art.
How long ago?
Really celebrating the moment. It was in '99, I believe, or probably, yeah, right around the end of '99, 2000. And so that's when I met Jay, and I mean, I'm sure anybody would agree with this, that he's a very unique individual, and you sense that right away. And I think one thing I've always been really fascinated and inspired by, and you know, it's something I think is really special about Jay is he's very progressive thinking. He's very willing to just push the limit and, you know, not just accept what's going on, but create what you want to go on. And that's something that I think all of us love about him, and I think it's great. So I'm looking forward to just, you know, he's somebody that I really, you know, get just true joy out of seeing his art develop and knowing him as a friend, and just seeing, you know, how amazing it's all becoming. And I think it inspires, you know, all of us around him to you know, to do our own art, whatever that is, and it's excellent. So
hot, but I'm in the shade. It's great. So we have Jay Archibald. He's turning 30 on Monday, and I met Jay. Oh, my name's Curtis Mulder. I live in Santa Barbara. Most recently moved back, and I met Jay when I first moved to Santa Barbara in 1998. That chain of effects, and I met your son at my house in Chino and Creo, and with Chrissy and Allie and Jay came over, and Sean introduced him to us. Yeah. So yeah.
You guys seem to come in and out of your lives.
Yeah.
A lot.
I think a lot of people come in and out of everyone's life. Jay has some means to be able to travel, which is a good thing. And however that comes, it's great. And it's not easy though. Anything he's doing, it's still difficult. Even though you're living like the best life, like it still gets hard. Trust me. Even though you're in paradise, you can get sick.
Well, talk about paradise. What do you think of this place?
This place is cool. If you should turn around, and let him see what I see.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What do you?
So there's a 40-foot waterfall up there somewhere, and Jay threw a party here for us. So I know Jay from friends, and now I just get to see him by random chance. It's here at Yonder Mountain String Band, wherever, all kinds of places. I see Brandy all over. Anyway, Jay has a bunch of good friends. You're pretty epic, man, so way to go. You did good.
Fire up some different pools. There's 2 pools by my campsite that since I got here.
Yeah.
My name is Jenna. My name is Jenna Leibowitz. When I first met Jay, my name was Jenna Dawn, and I live in San Francisco. I first met Jay in October of 1998 for a fish show in Vegas. And I don't know if he'll even remember that that's when we first met. But I met him in a hotel room just with friends, and it was awesome. It was like just a brief introduction. Met him and Joanna, and then it was years later, like a year later, that I feel like I really got reintroduced, connected with Jay, and that was through ALO, and that was in the Bay.
It's over. But as far as like I see food, just like any kind of
Smiles is a magic. It's always great. The support of the military.
So Miles, when did you meet Jay? Yeah. Did you meet him in San Diego? Oh, Santa Barbara. I'm sorry. Hey. Why do you think he's a unique guy? Miles?
You got to walk just a little bit taller, 'cause I can feel the sound and it's bringing me down. That was really intense. Just close your eyes when that happens.
So I would love for you guys to go there. Like 5,000 rock art is just incredible.
Sunrise session?
No, yeah, no. This is maybe like 11 or noon. After breakfast, you know. So
how late you're up today?
Breakfast will be rolling out kind of between 8 and noon. And a long, slow roll. So 1, 9, yeah, maybe coffee, but 9, maybe food. And then, let's see, that's about it.
Guys, I have to work early tomorrow, so if you could keep it down. After 11, keep it down.
Do you maybe respect the other side of the canyon? The other side of the canyon is not
I heard there's a
part of this event. And to be like, there are very.
Because I'll be there bright and early.
I won't stop. So
Sound doesn't carry.
So basically, I just wanted to start this and like just set the intention and highlight the intention that got us here. And the theme of turning out an outrageous dream into an outrageous reality, I think was pretty successful.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. It is a new moon tonight, and the stars in the sky are very bright tonight. So, cheers, everybody. So that's.
Hi, my name's Lacey. I met Jay through my boyfriend Mike Dong through Fish, but one of my best and first memories of Jay, and the first time that I really felt Jay, was probably like a week or so after Mike and I had met, and we were at an IMAX shoot we were seeing Trey play with The Roots and BB King, and somehow I finagled getting a couple passes to go in the very back and like hang out with everyone. And I was walking down the line and I saw Jay and I pulled him out and I was like, come on, you're coming with me. And that was when he was, talking about Mike and like what a great guy Mike was and how they knew each other. And so I felt an instant connection with Jay. And every time I see Jay, he just embraces you and he gives you, all of his attention, and it's straight from the heart. And another thing I love about Jay is he's so creative. He'll send me, like his links to, his new updates on his site, and it just blows my mind how he works. And I've been with him like in hotels where he'll just start taking pictures of the ground or of the sky or whatever, and I'm like, what is this kid doing? And then the next thing I know, he'll have, he'll be like, remember that night, and it'll be over the band that we saw, and it's just amazing, like how, where it comes from, I don't know, but it's amazing. And then the fact that he pulls it off, everything that he says he's gonna do, he does it. So you gotta love it. Like, we love Jay.
Say hello.
Hello. Allie, have you talked to Trevor about Jay?
Oh my God, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay. One of our favorite people.
What do you got to say about him?
Where did I meet him? I met him online because
Whoa.
Because I read this email this post about this like crazy, I don't even know, some like satellite explosion or like this weird light in the sky. And I had seen it too after this Santana show at the Santa Barbara Bowl. So I emailed Jay back. I'm like, oh my God, I saw that too. And then we became friends.
That's right. We're rolling.
Alan Pettibone.
A little louder.
I'm Alan Pettibone. I live in Ventura, and I met Jay at High Sierra maybe 5 years ago, and we came together because there was some kaleidoscopes involved, and the kaleidoscopes were at the moment a concept that I had for a light show for a rock concert, and Jay's imagination, just the whole idea of taking the idea and making it a reality. It began the minute that I met him, and that came into existence later when we were staying together in Santa Barbara. We started doing the kaleidoscope stuff.
So at High Sierra, you just like bump into each other, or are you doing something in common?
A mutual friend introduced us, and in the camp, and it just began from there. It was an instantaneous boom, instantaneous spark, and so it's recognizing of someone that I've known for much longer.
So very much, has just taken that concept of your dream and making it your reality, and that's been absolutely perfect. So, the band idea was just a phone call from Jay, and the first phone call is just a description of what he had experienced here and what he thought would be a really good thing, and what his ideas of what musicians he wanted, and just invited me to bring the keys, and it very much was just
spontaneous
moment that was just all the musicians we just sat up there yesterday for maybe half an hour and talked and just saw where each other was, and I think the rest of it, just the exchange between the people, the audience, and the musicians and everything, just
for somebody who doesn't
made its own thing,
Sorry, for someone who doesn't attend a lot of the Fish concerts and String Cheese and ALO now, how would you describe the music that you guys play?
It's I like to, ALO is ALO, and I like to call it a love orchestra, and I see that as being the entire situation. It is strictly a space where everyone has the same concept of loving each other and loving our life, and the music connects everything with the earth and with each other, and it's just the most perfect place for that connection to really be true.
Fabulous.
It really is free flowing. There's no defined concept to what you're doing. It's really is what you're thinking at the moment, and that your thought gets put up in there, and the music hears it, and it takes care of itself and does its own thing, and I think it is just as much about everybody else's participation.
All right.
And we love him for bringing all of us together, and we wish him the happiest birthday and many, many, many more.
Happy birthday, Jay.
So the cool thing that we got here really late in the night, so I'm just now taking in everybody who's here, but one of the main connections of why everybody's here is because of the music that we all go see. There's a lot of Santa Barbara crew and San Diego and LA and San Francisco, but every time we get together it's usually because of one of these people here or because of the band that we're going to see. And it's just a great community. Even if you don't know the people, you know their friends, and before the weekend's over, we all know each other.
Okay,
Go
ready?
ahead.
Slightly parched.
Drink the beer. That'll help.
I remember Jay came back from from Mexico. The first time he was here about a month ago with Jessica. Actually, it was kind of in December when he first came to this place, and he came back, and he was electric. He was just on at the top of his game, where he's just he's almost ADD, but he's not. He's a very focused person.
Yes.
He's got so much energy that he just whatever he does, he's
it vibrates,
yes,
doesn't it?
But it's loose enough that his creative side comes out really well. Not all the time, but when it does, it's really, really good. His photography is it's really good.
We have it in our home.
Yeah. So that's I think that's a good way to judge somebody, is that we're not judge.
Form an opinion.
Well,
Is that what you're
get
saying?
to know somebody
Okay.
is through their expressions, and this is one of the ways he expresses himself.
Look at how he's expressing himself right now.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
all the people here, this is amazing what happened. I mean, what is happening? What's going on here? And to put something together like this in the middle in Baja, or in the middle of almost another country.
Yep.
It's not that you have one or two friends. You have a lot of very good friends who are willing to follow you anywhere. And
He's a Pied Piper.
well,
Kidding. I'm kidding.
No, that's
this week, I think he kind of likes to be. But,
he likes to be.
Yeah, but it worked this weekend, so.
Yeah.
And
hey, my name's Dan Leibowitz, and I'm from San Francisco, of course, too. And let's see. Okay, so this is what we were just talking about a second ago. Is that the first time I remember meeting Jay, like really meeting him and hanging out with him, was in New Orleans at some show during Jazz Fest. And I remember he was, taking photos, of course, of the show and everything. And I remember meeting him there, and we hung out that night and everything. So the first time I probably was around Jay, though, was I grew up in the South Bay, and I went to Saratoga High School, and our band is ALO, and we used to play, like lunchtime concerts at high school. And apparently Jay was at least one of those. I've talked to him about this because he has a friend that went to my high school, and so he was over there one day. So this is kind of crazy, but it was years later that we actually met, because I had to have been in like 91 or something, or 92 or 93 at the latest. And then, we did the Jazz Fest meeting was probably like 99 or so. Yeah, 99, yeah.
Well, there's a list of things that make Jay unique, but one that really stands out is, there's so many that stand out. The first thing that came to mind was how he is able to share his view of the world with other people. And I find that really unique, be it through a camera and his art, and really taking you into his reality, the reality he created for a moment, and capturing that image, or the reality that he's creating with an idea of a trip to Mexico and getting 50 plus of his closest friends here. That is such a talent, and his enthusiasm and passion to express that, and just his expression is what people just believe in him and will help make his fantasy a reality. And I that's one of the few things that came to mind.
I think the thing that really jumps out to me is the enthusiasm. Like I love it when he gets excited. Like, and he'll get so excited about something. Like when we showed up here,
infectious.
His expression. I remember we got here at like 5 a.m. or something, and just he got up out of his tent. It was just, I can't even do justice. I'm not going to try to do what he did, but it was just beautiful, just his whole reaction to things, and the excitement he puts in.
Now, last night you guys sounded as if you've been playing for years together, and I asked this question before, but I'd like your definition, of, especially for an older guy, is how would you define this music that ALO plays, that you played last night, that it has really something special about it, but I can't really put it in a box.
That's a tricky thing, I think in general that, like, if you're coming from an inspired place and you're making any art, it's gonna have that special feeling, and I really felt that up here. Last night it's just so cool. Like the three of us, musicians, myself and Garrett and Dave, having known each other for a long time. Over the years our band's been touring, and we've jammed with each other here and there. But it was so nice to have a full night to actually just set up and play. Just experiment, having not really planned out what we were going to do at all, just kind of throwing songs out there to see what sticks. And it was great with Alan jamming too on keys, but it felt so good, just I think everyone was feeling the music, and I think in general with the ALO it's the same thing. If everyone's heart is really there in that moment, you could take the same tune and play it one time and have everyone not feel it, and it's it's not going to be inspired, and it's not going to really communicate to people, but when everyone's inspired, it's like that just feeds, it spreads around, I think.
Can you imagine Jay putting something like this together without music, without live music?
Can't imagine it.
It's not. It's that's his life.
No. That's
live music is what fuels him. One of the main things that fuel him. So. Yeah.
I'm Garrett Sayers, and I'm here to make music, and I'm accompanying Allie. I actually just met Jay 2 nights ago, but his reputation has preceded him. Should I be directing this at Jay?
Oh yeah, sure.
Your reputation has preceded you as someone who brings people together, specifically this great group of people. And I've heard all about all of the gatherings in the past 3 years that I've been with Ali. And anyway, you sound like a monumental person. In fact, when I met you, I was a little bit like, wait, this is Jay. I expected you to be like 10 feet tall or something. So anyway, it's great to have everyone here in the sun.
How did you guys put it together last night?
Well, Dave and I play in a band together, and we've crossed paths with Dan from ALO, and he's played with us. We've always vibed well. Dan's an awesome guy. All the guys in ALO are, and we knew that would work out. We spent some time hanging out yesterday and just kind of getting a feel for just spending time with each other, and that's the most important thing, because then we were able to really relax on stage, and we figured out a few different things that we collectively knew and learned a little, a couple chord changes here and there, just so we could piece a couple things together, and then we just went for it and tried to use as much improv and as just try to feed off of the energy of the people as we could, and it seemed to work. So tonight we're going to do it again, and hopefully we have the same outcome. I'm very excited.
Magic Gravy. It's a phenomenal sounding name, right? The root of it is the fact that gravy is something that is the sum of the meal that you're making. The recipe is never the same, right? But the number one definition was that gravy is literally it's what it comes from, and this entire experience, I think, is somewhat gravy, right? In that sense, given that definition of gravy, is this? I mean, fuck. We were talking about this music tonight, and we were like gravy, because this is three guys who have never played together before, right? And yet they're on the influence of tequila punch and everything else that's going on are going fucking off, aren't they? By the way, yeah, this fucking band.
So, Jay Archibald, what do we say? Well, this family of friends is called the Santa Barbara Music Freaks, and it's a group that's very community oriented, very grounded in the live music experience, which is a participant experience the way we do it. We all contribute and do things like that, and it all started with Jay Archibald. Jay Archibald was the guy I met 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and just turned me on to the jam band improvisational style of music. I listened to Dead before, but Jay turned me on to all these different bands, and then just showed us what we could do, putting our heads together and how to make this whole cohesive thing happen, and pass the reins on to people, and just really inspired this. This is a culmination. I mean, we've done things that are just so outrageously fun, and what Jay's pulled together this weekend is truly amazing. He's a really giving guy, just a genuinely sweetheart, very much a tripper as far as sees things very differently, and it's a great perspective. He's always got a good outlook on life. I mean, you have to get to know Jay too to appreciate how he sees it. I mean, and if you know his art, you see how he sees the world differently, and it's a beautiful thing too. Though he sees just subtleties that most people gloss over, and that's why he comes off as kind of trippy, because he's really paying attention to a lot more than you realize, and a lot of people are kind of just going blindly through. Jay's stopping to smell the roses a lot, and it's basically infected this whole group. I mean, he is really where it all started, If Jay had not, maybe this group would have come together, but I doubt it would have came together like it is now, and so heavily into the music. So
I notice a lot of harmony among everybody here. They seem to get along so well.
This group is the only group that I've ever even heard of where every day, every time you see each other, and we see each other all the time throughout the week, where we tell each other we love each other, guys, girls, we all hug. I mean, it's such a loving family. I mean, it's amazing. I've never even heard of a group of friends like this, and it's huge. This is 60, but there's 200 people, throughout this whole community that get together and we'll do things like this. I mean, this is really the core, but it's just an amazing thing. It's what community really, really is. I mean, absolutely. It's just unconditional support, understanding that people got shit going on and they have their moments when they just drive you crazy, and then other ones you just love them to death, and you just take the good with the bad, and just it keeps going. Our motto is pushing the good vibe.
Okay, we're rolling here. So what's your name?
Hi, I am Charles Crompton, aka Chuckles. I kind of reign from everywhere. I think Jay knew me as a Salt Lake kid, previous to my moving to California, where we were then introduced, finally face to face, but we knew each other through names. He was doing photography work for those Giant People, stuff for Richard McCaskill, and I was their sound engineer. And so from far, had always admired his photos on the fish lot, and basically between fish lot and Giant People, grew to know him before I knew him.
Say again?
These people are freaks.
You made it here, you're a freak.
No. It's basically it's a very unique tribe. I've been so fortunate to be brought into this. I can't even imagine what life would be right now without it. I definitely knew that it was here, and I came looking for it, and Jay was one of the first people I met instantly. And so it all made sense right away.
My name is Michael. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and a very good friend of Jay's. Actually, a pretty interesting story about when I met Jay. Probably like most of the people here, we met on tour, met him on Fish Tour, but actually it's a interesting show because it was in Salem, Oregon, where actually my girlfriend lives really close to the show, and she was at that show, but we wouldn't meet for another 4 years. But was a sold out show, and in the West Coast there really weren't too many sold out Phish shows in '94, and especially not ones that you couldn't easily buy a ticket for $20. But after walking around for like maybe an hour or two with $20 in the air and couldn't find a ticket, decided I had to do something different to get into the show if I really wanted to be in. So I kind of looked at the door and saw how it was set up, and then I noticed a pretty large gentleman getting ready to walk in. Probably about 6'4", probably 210. As he walked in, I walked in step by step with him. As he handed his ticket, I stepped in. As he shielded me from the ticket taker, and just sort of like slowly, didn't run, just walked into the crowd. And I was just so shocked. I just walked into a show. It wasn't like a gate crash. It was a casual walk in through the front door. And the first person I ran into was Jay, who I'd met maybe a couple months ago in Santa Barbara. We both actually were going to school at UCSB. But the first person I ran into was Jay. And I saw, Jay, I just got into this show for free. And it was just, we've been like great friends ever since. We went to Europe together. We did summer '96 tour together. I've probably seen. It was funny. I actually tried to count like how many shows I'd seen with Jay, and I got through 1998, and I stopped counting at 89.
Okay.
Well, basically, how all of us are connected. It's just like, I mean, it really is music, and we've been brought together by music. I mean, initially with the Grateful Dead, and then with Phish, and then with other bands, But lately, it seems like we realize that it's not about the music, but it's about the people. It's about each other, and it's just, especially now that Phish is done playing, it was different when the Grateful Dead stopped. It stopped tragically, and you weren't able to keep connected with everybody you knew from the Grateful Dead's tour. But when Phish ended, we had warning, and we knew it was over, and so we knew it was coming to an end. So you did make that extra effort to make those connections and made sure the people you wanted to stay in touch with, you stayed in touch with. And, we've done that. It's really interesting to see where we've taken trips across the country, not solely for music now, but just to be with friends that we consider family, as close as we would our own blood.
Okay, Roland.
Well, I'm Megan and Jason. We're living in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very close to where Jay lives, obviously.
But I met Jay in Santa Barbara years ago. The first time that Jay and I ever hung out, he was at my house, and we got a great idea to put a hoop sign around a crosswalking sign, and that was one of my first memories of Jay scurrying up this pole to put this hoop on the crosswalking sign. And that's the first time we hung out.
Did he climb up the pole, or did he stand on the newspaper?
He stood on the newspaper thing, and then he actually had to shimmy up the pole.
Did he move the newspaper thing?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay.
So that was years ago, and then we moved to San Francisco, and we just started spending a lot of time with Jay. He's become one of your best friends, I think.
Yeah, the frequency is actually not that high, but the quality of the length of when
yes.
It involves
when he's
10
over.
to 20-hour stretches or a day or two.
This is a very interesting crew of people that's here because everybody comes from all around California, and I think most of us are not even from California. And I think we all kind of went to California to kind of meet each other because I think we've all known each other for all of our lifetimes. And that's why I think that we all have the bond that we have, is because we've been around forever.
Right.
Hi, I'm Erin, and I'm from Santa Barbara, a place where Jay has lived before, and I'm sure he calls it one of his homes. As if you've ever lived there, you would know why. Anyway, I can't tell you when the first time I met Jay was, but I do know that I've known him at least 4 years, and some of my memorable experiences have been at concerts, living large, going big, and yeah, just enjoying each other's company and our friendship and our community. Anyway, happy birthday, Jay. We love you. Woo!
Definitely, I met Jay in this crazy galaxy orbiting around with music at the center, and all of us rotating around, having a great time, grooving, and yeah, this weekend is certainly an example of that.
Wonderful way. His art is beautiful. His energy is infectious. As it turns out, his energy is something that people absorb and then spread to others, and it's a beautiful thing. It's something that it's very special.
Jay, you are absolutely marching to your own drummer, and there's so few people out there doing that. It's contagious, and it's compelling, and you can see that all around us this weekend.
How about this place? This is a very unique
spectacular.
environment.
It's amazing. It's remote, and it's beautiful, and it's sort of unexpected sitting here in the middle of the desert. And look what we've done here this weekend. It's unbelievable.
I highly doubt that other groups that come out here put it together as well as we have this weekend, or as well as Jay has this weekend, more specifically. It's a great thing, just a community that our friends can create anywhere. You throw a group of us together, any place, the most remote desert, anywhere, and you get a great moment.
Did you see that generator that was brought up here?
Yeah, of course. No, just the perseverance it took for every single person to get here just makes it even that much more special.
Yeah.
The music last night, spectacular. Yeah. I mean, those guys all super talents, but
over and above.
You don't expect it to come together quite so perfectly, right. And in the windstorm and just the vibe up on the hill there was
the caliber of the musicians.
Yeah,
just outstanding.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Hi Jay, Joy. Just wanted to say happy birthday and thanks for opening your heart, opening your space to everyone who wanted to come here this weekend and have fun, have an awesome time. It's been a pleasure meeting you off and on the last few times that has happened. I know we don't really know each other very well, but enjoyed hanging out with you at my house a couple weeks ago, and I'm really glad to see that you're having such an awesome time for your 30th birthday celebration, and may this next year be the best one yet.
Well, my name's Brandy Weber, and I'm from Santa Barbara. I met Jay about 4 years ago, and it's a funny story that I like to tell all the time, but we were going to a string cheese show, and it was pouring down rain, and we were all packed in this little apartment because it was right across the street from the venue, and Jay had a bottle of Bushmills Black Bush. And I walked through, first time I didn't even get his name or anything, and I look at him and I was like, "Can I have a sip of that?" And he looks at me, he said, "Are you sure?" And I tipped the bottle back and I just drink it down. He's like, "Damn, girl." So he was pretty impressed by me at that point. But that's the first time that I met Jay, and ever since he's been, you know, floating in and out of our lives in so many facets, because, you know, living in Santa Barbara but being in the Bay Area, and our crew of friends span all the way from here to New York. And we like to get together and create communities and bring light and love to each other, and Jay is a catalyst for that, and he has seen the vision, and he's the one that created. He helped create and move us all along to be creative and love each other.
All of us. I'm going to take my hat off to make sure you can see me. So, what is unique about Jay? My gosh, everything is unique about Jay. You're one of a kind, but you're extremely kind and generous and creative and visionary to come up with something like this and execute it. A lot of the time from distance, some of the time from in Mexico, to actually be coordinating all of this. It's been our pleasure to help you with it and to help make it happen, but thank you so much for putting this together, and happy birthday.
Hello everybody out there, this is James Duderis, and I've known Jay Archibald since 1993 when I met him as a young pup at Francisco Torres in Isla Vista, California. And I really got to know Jay our freshman year when we kind of took a road trip out to San Francisco, and we went to San Francisco and saw a couple fish shows up at the Warfield, and ever since then I've just kind of been, I live in Goleta, California, and I've been in Goleta, Santa Barbara areas for 12 years now, and Jay's kind of popped in and out of my life, going to San Francisco and New York and Mexico and Europe, and I've always just kind of been stationary here in Santa Barbara, but I've always been in touch with him, and just bringing me light and energy and just some fun really makes me happier in life. So I've always had a connection with Jay in those regards. So it's really special to be here sharing a 30th birthday with his friends and family, and I'm just happy to be here and to continue to share the energy and love that we all have for each other. I've been trying to think of some embarrassing moments, and there's some funny moments that I think of Jay. For example, in college he used to wear these really tight purple pants when we were out having fun with people, and it would embarrass most people to be seen in public with these pants or a funny haircut or a mustache, but for Jay it's just another part of living life and enjoying. So I don't know if they're embarrassing moments with Jay, they're just funny moments one after another.
Jay, we love you.
We do love
so
you.
much. Thank you so much for getting everyone inspired to come down here. And I mean, this is just a small thing in all that you do, you know, but it's right in line with it. So thanks for all of it.
Thanks for feeding us some magic gravy this weekend.
Yeah.
Looking forward to many more servings
Yeah.
and being back here to celebrate another 30 years.